So, but what would Floyd Anderson say to all of this, do you think?
That we're taking all the fun out of it for him. We're bursting his bubble, and he wants to buzz around with the UFOs, and he wants them to heal him of his ailments and give him super strength and super intelligence and cosmic secrets, and he wants to learn about their opinions on what they think God is or what the afterlife is. He wants to know the meaning of existence. He wants to know the reason why he's a tube in this ensnared environment that seems so hostile to him. Why is
But
it
we,
hostile? He wants to know this. Floyd
we,
wants
but
to
we
know this.
can both relate to this. I mean, we're both not just been there, but part of us is still there. We've also both, I don't know about Floyd, but you and I both apparently had some sort of interaction with non-human entities. And so, how do we draw the line between what Al said is between being in the little bit we know and burying our head in the sand? Because, I mean, how do we, if we just stay in what we know, then aren't we limiting ourselves to discovering more, to deepening our knowledge by looking outward and finding out about more things outside of what we know? Wouldn't that be the counter argument here?
It's the counter argument, but it really appears when you're honest with yourself that none of that is for us to know. If it were, if we had all those answers, then we wouldn't feel the need to escape from the plane of existence that we're on right now. We wouldn't see it as a prison, we'd see it for what it actually is, and what those dreams and that higher intuition of what I feel these entities have been telling me are to basically look at the opposite of their lessons. If they're being strict with you, if they're being punishing, if they seem to be torturing your being and taking things away from you, making you stay in your mortality and stay in that knowing that you're going to die someday. It seems like that fear, they want you to sit in that fear until you don't fear it any longer. And the more that you try to look for those mysteries and to not bury your hand or not bury your head in the sand and stay with what it is that you know, the more severe and pressing that pressure gets, and the more intense it gets on you, and the more disturbing it becomes to your psyche, and the more it starts to basically, corrupt a very honest, pure essence that you were intended to be. And if you can just be that, you wouldn't need to know any of these higher mysteries.
Do you have any knowledge about who perhaps could be controlling the Zionists and the Rothschilds? Who's above them?
Uh, I've studied that a lot. In fact, I guess my curiosity really got up in 1972 when I read Non-Narcotic Conspiracy by Gary Allen. And I've never been able to put the subject out of my mind completely. And I needed to know who was behind the curtain. And that's when I first published Who's Who of the Elite in 1995. I had all the members, but I didn't know who was at the top at that time. By the time I published what the elite, the elite don't dare let us tell the people, in that book I tell you exactly who's at the top. And I got rock solid evidence in my book. So I know who's at the top. There's a Greek friend of mine from Las Vegas said that he thought that there was possibly one at the very top who lived in Mongolia. And that's troubled me. And in fact, if I can ever get enough money, I'm going to go to Mongolia and see if I can find any evidence of that.